As an inspiration to me, Gerard Way once said, "Sometimes you have to kind of die inside to rise from your own ashes and believe in yourself and love yourself to become a new person." After a horrible experience I went through, I had to learn the meaning of this quote to help not only myself, but a person in need. I've always been a very happy person up until the point of when this experience happened. This is not a happy speech. This is not a happy story. It really isn't. I know most people are gonna say their favorite vacation, their favorite memory with their family, but this is a memory that I went through that even though it's sad, it's it's something that shaped me to who I am now. Um, this is one of the worst times that I had in my life, but it does have a happy ending and I did learn something from this. So when I was little, I was always a very happy kid. Just like normal kids, I would play, go to the playground, spend time with my family, watch movies, play with Barbies. Um, I have a pretty big family, so I was never bored. I have three sisters, from the younger one after me is 3 years younger, so she is 17 at today. And after that, I have my twin sisters, and they are 13 years old. So, and then of course I have my parents, and including in this is my grandmother, because not only is she a big part of my life, but she does live with us. So, she is part of my family. In 2014, that's when all of this started. My life was normal. I was in high school. I was a sophomore in high school in 2014. I was having, high school experience. I was in band. I was involved in sport, and not in sports, in band, marching band. I was involved in school activities. I liked the school clubs. I was in a community service club at one point. Um, I really liked, I really did like school. So in 2014, in November, my grandmother turned 60 years old, and we made this big party for her to celebrate. Now, after this party, as since I am Mexican, usually Mexican parties they usually go to an after party, and this after party was held at my grandmother's house. So, um, this is when this experience happened. Um, Over the course of the night, my family was drinking. They were pretty drunk. All of the kids that we were all sleeping in the second room my grandma has in our house. So after this, all the kids we went to sleep and the parents still stayed up. I was back then I was 16, turning 17. So I'm not gonna go into very specific detail because it is something that you don't tell just everyone. But I did experience sexual assault by a family member, and you know this took a big toll on me. And of course, everything was handled the way these cases should be handled, legally and stuff. But this took a big toll on me. I was very depressed after this. Every single day was worse than the last. Every single day I had to cry myself to sleep. I stopped going to school. I didn't go to school for 2 weeks because I just couldn't bear to get myself out of bed. I couldn't bear to even look at myself in the mirror. I hated my whole life. And little by little, I started taking little pieces of me. Um, it was a hard experience, honestly, but I had to get through it to help a family member. So a couple of years later, when I was a senior, my younger sister after me, she's now 17. She started high school, and we started noticing small things about her. She would sleep a lot. She wouldn't want to go out with us, etc. And I started noticing those those patterns because I had those same patterns. And even though I was still going through this pain that I had from 2 years ago, um, I saw her break down, and she was getting bullied. So this took a big toll on her. So I couldn't let myself see her this way because I knew how horrible. it felt to cry yourself to sleep every day, to be scared to go out in the world. And so I we were never part of a church. When I was little, we were forced to go to mass, but we were never really involved. So I took a big step and I started going to a Christian church. Now I know this is not something everyone would do. In cases like these, to get over these, the people would go to therapy, but that's what personally helped me. I started going to a Christian church, and that was absolutely the best time that I had. It helped me so much, and I had to help my sister this way too. I mean, I didn't have to, but this is the way that it helped her. And little by little, we started going more and more. We started playing in the band at the church, and it was an excellent time because it took us out of that horrible hole we were stuck in. And even though this is like a really depressing story, we're now perfectly fine. We're perfectly happy. You know, we're happier than we've ever been. We have our family. We're close to our family. But this part of our lives for both of us was super dark, and it was something that it was really, really hard on not only us, but our whole family. Our whole family split apart. Um, but like I said, we're absolutely perfect now. We're happy. And like I said, I had to die inside. I had to kill that part of me that was sad, that was dreadful all the time, that was filled with depression, to be born again and help my sister through this horrible time she was going through as well. Um, I think this personal story, I know it may be a little bit too personal to share, but it's honestly something that's shaped me to who I am now. You know, I remember whenever I have the small amount of sadness in me, I look back at that time and I know that things will get better. And you know that not everything will stay the same. Like if something like that I could get over, even if it was 2 years for me to get over that, I eventually became way happier, way better, and I got over it, and I can talk about it freely because it's no longer a part of me, because I got rid of that part of me that was filled with sadness. And like I said, like I had to get back in my feet to help her. And as Gerard Way once said again, sometimes you have to kind of die inside to rise from your ashes and believe in yourself and love yourself to become a new person.